China has admitted that a suspected spy balloon which has entered US airspace is theirs, but says it is a civilian airship which is conducting meteorological and other scientific research. American officials say they're tracking the balloon, which has been over the US for a couple of days now.
Well, hello,
Fighter jets have
everybody.
been put on standby, but the White House has decided not to shoot it down for now. Let's get more on this from our defense and security analyst, Professor Michael Clarke, who's in the studio with me. Michael, good to see you again. Good afternoon. Where exactly is this balloon? And I say balloon, but it's rather large, isn't it?
Yes. Everything is measured. International comparative measurements are either London buses, Wembley or Wales. And this is 3 London buses.
That's huge.
So it's big. And it carries several kilos of surveillance equipment, we assume. And it has travelled over the Aleutian Islands, and it's hovering over Montana. And the reason that Montana is important, a lot of these northern states are important, because that's where the American missile bases are. They're intercontinental ballistic missiles. They're Minuteman III. The important missiles are in the north of the country, because the shortest distance between America and Russia is over the North Pole. That's why they're in the north. And although nobody lives there, or very few people live in this part of the United States, very underpopulated, this is a very sensitive area. And the red areas that we've marked on the map there, those are the areas where the satellite bases to launch the missiles are sited. And so every base, so the Malmstrom base or the Billings base, has 50 missiles, and those missiles are in groups of 10. So there are 5 launch control points connected to every base. And the red area shows you the distribution of the launch control points. They're quite well spread out for obvious reasons. And this balloon has been hovering over them for some time. And it's really upset the Americans. I mean, the balloon is at, we guess, something above 60,000 feet. Aircraft get to about 40,000 feet. They could fire rockets at it. But the point about the balloons is that they go above the level that aircraft can fly at effectively.
So
and
even though they've said the fighter jets are
Exactly, yeah. So they occupy that space between the ceiling for aircraft and satellites. And so they're into the stratosphere. And these balloons can just hang around for a long time, surveilling and listening and collecting information.
What is this about, Michael? Why have the Chinese put up a balloon over the US?
Yeah.
Whatever it is doing, scientific research, or what is it about?
They wanted it to be seen. It's clear. We've tracked it. This is based on the sky weather using the NOAA model, which is the Oceanic and Aeronautical Agency. And this is at 40,000 feet, which is a bit low. But if you look at the winds at 40,000 feet, that's where the balloon would have come from China, across the Aleutian Islands, across Alaska, and into the United States. We put another model onto it at about 60,000 feet, which is more of the operational height it will be at. But that gives it a slightly different track, but it still ends up over Montana. So that's where we think the balloon has come from. So why are the Chinese doing this? They want it to be seen. They want it to be noticed. And my view is that this is all about the Philippines. This is about the 9-dash line. There's the famous 9-dash line. The Chinese drew this line, they put 9 dashes on it, and they said all of that line belongs to us. Everything inside that area is Chinese territory. And they're building illegal bases in the Spratly Islands and the Paracel Islands, military bases that they've got no right to. They've been found, the international court has found against them, they've just ignored it. And, of course, the Philippines is most affected by that because it's their territorial waters, plus Malaysia and Vietnam as well. Now, the Americans this week have said we're going back to the Philippines. They're opening 4 new American military bases. So for the first time in years, the American military is going back to the Philippines. And Lloyd Austin is on a tour of East Asia. It's all been announced. It was in the wind before, but it's now confirmed. The Chinese never let anything like this go by without making their own gesture, without some sort of retaliation. And I'm fairly sure that it's the 4 new bases, military bases in the Philippines, that are driving China to say, OK, if you want a competition, we'll have a competition. How do you like this? And so they're making it very clear that they're taking a big interest now in collecting intelligence on American missile bases.
OK. Professor Clarke, thank you so much.